Hi everyone, this video is about one of my original comic book characters, Alina. Alina is a jungle adventurer. There's a long tradition in comic books of jungle girl characters. Perhaps the best known is Sheena, but there was also Rula, Nyoka, Camilla, and many more in the golden age of comics, and more recently, perhaps having the most comic book appearances of any jungle girl character, Tara the Jungle Girl Fremont from the pages of AC Comics Femforce and other AC books. My character, Alina's first adventure, was an 8-pager drawn by legendary comic book artist Rudy Nebres. Rudy was part of a wave of fantastic Filipino artists who began working in the American comic book industry in the 1970s, and he is probably best known as one of the great finishers for John Buscema's pencils in Savage Sword of Conan from Marvel Comics. In Alina's first story, Rudy handles the pencils, and Ed Coots does the finishes. Alina is a young woman born and raised on the south side of Chicago who has packed a lot of living into her first 30 years of life. Married as a teenager to a childhood sweetheart, she was lured by the street life, cutting class, not studying, and she would have dropped out of high school if not for the support and encouragement of her husband. Sadly, a member of a local gang became infatuated with her and had her husband murdered as a way of clearing the field for his advances. Of course, her jealous suitor soon died the way he lived, as a rival gang took offense at his unjustified murder of a regular citizen for such venal reasons. Now alone, and with few skills, a heartbroken Alina decided that she needed to honor her late husband's memory by believing in herself the way he had believed in her and going to college. But she would need money to pay for higher education, and at that time all she had to offer was a smoking hot body packed tightly into her 5'2" frame. A cousin was part owner of a small strip club in Cicero that needed higher quality dancers to attract more customers, and she went to work, earning enough to pay her tuition at the State University in Chicago, and learning how to handle, mentally and physically, the amorous advances, both wanted and unwanted, of customers. Working nights and going to school during the day, she studied on her breaks, but she found a love for biology and a talent, in particular, for botany. And by the time she graduated, she'd earned herself a gig as a research assistant focusing on South and Central American flora. Her job as a botanist and knowledge of Spanish made her a constant presence in Latin America, and her street-weary attitude and physical attributes brought her all kinds of attention. In the last few years, she's been called upon by U.S. intelligence to utilize her local knowledge to provide intel on drug traffickers. She's also earned extra money as a jungle guide. She's run afoul of powerful men and psychos, and she's survived through dedication to believing in herself and, to be fair, through a little luck. As you can see from the images, Alina has short dark hair and dark eyes. As noted, she's well below average height for a woman. Despite her hourglass proportions, she has a firm, athletic build and is surprisingly nimble. Alina's had to learn self-defense techniques, as well as how to use a variety of weapons in order to keep herself safe. She's wary about the intentions of anyone who she doesn't know, and she doesn't really trust most of the people that she does know. This attitude, and the snark that often accompanies it, can be off-putting and often does more to put a target on her back than to keep her safe from harm. If she does trust you and considers you a real friend, she is extraordinarily loyal. Intellectually, she knows the things she knows very well, particularly as it relates to science, which was a large part of her secondary education. She's not as versed on other subjects unless it's information that she's picked up through personal experience. Her biggest strength intellectually is what you would call street smarts or common sense, although she's got a thrill-seeker streak in her and also a fatalist, which leads her to undertake rather risky adventures that defy any logical mental calculus. So that's Alina. If you like this character, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.